All right, episode 91. Hey, today we have a special guest on, star of HGTV's Flip or Flop, Tarek El Moussa, and we're going to get started right now.
Welcome to the only real estate podcast worth listening to, with your hosts Nick Good, Matt Kelderman, and Brian Force. Combined, they have 26 years of experience and have sold over 1,500 homes. Join them each week as they bring you everything you need to know about real estate. And now, here are your hosts, Nick, Matt, and Brian.
All right, episode 91. Today, I am super excited about this guest. We have Tarek El Moussa on, and before we get started, and before we introduce Tarek on, if you have not gone to our Facebook group, the only real estate group worth being a part of, go do that right now. You're going to want to go join that. You're going to want to go participate in everything that's going on there. We're sharing a ton of information, especially with this low inventory market and how agents are winning in today's marketplace.
Yes, sir.
And if you haven't done so, go over to the only real estate podcast worth listening to on iTunes. Subscribe, leave us a review. I do know that 15% of our listeners do listen on Spotify, but I don't think you can leave a review on there.
You can't. 5 stars only, please, though.
Yeah, 5 stars only. Exactly. So today we've got Tarek El Moussa on. He is the co-star of the mega hit HGTV show Flip or Flop, currently in its 9th season and ranked #1 cable show in its time slot, and has been renewed for the 10th season to premiere in 2021. Additionally, he has successfully flipped more than 500 properties and has sold over 1,000 houses. Tarek is a successful entrepreneur, real estate expert, and investor with a portfolio of over 100 properties, a wholesale real estate company, and a production company. So, Tarek, welcome.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Good, man. That reminded me of the scene from Rocky IV where Apollo Creed has like 55 nicknames and they're taking forever to announce them all before they can fight. That was awesome.
It was a good intro. It was a good intro. I liked it.
That's right. And we do need to promote, if you can, talk about this at the end, Tarek, we do need to promote your new show, Tarek's Flip Side, on Discovery Plus app. So I want to hear.
Yeah. We got Tarek's Flip Side on Discovery Plus, but you forgot my second main show, which is called Flipping 101. We just shot the last season last year, shooting season 2 right now. Flipping 101, fun show. I actually mentor and I coach rookie flippers through the project.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love it.
It's a real fun show.
It's always way more fun to watch the flipping shows where people are like way less experienced because there's like an element of surprise to it.
Oh, the best part about it is they argue with me. They know better than me. And they say, "Hey, Tarek," well, they go like this, "Hey, Tarek, well, how do you know that?" I'm like, "Well, what do you think? It's called experience."
You're like, "Do you have cable?" Because that's how I know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, my brother and I think we flipped probably over 100 houses already, and it still feels like the first time every time.
Really?
So
Just
you tear a wall down, like, where the fuck did this come from? So
load bearing. What is this?
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
right. So Tarek, walk us through, because I don't think a lot of people they see you on TV, they know that persona of you, but I don't know if a lot of people knew that you used to be a real estate. Take us back. Let's go back then, right? Before you had the show, walk us through, when did you become an agent? Why did you become an agent?
Sure.
And then were you successful at it?
Sure. One thing about me, people, they need to understand that I'm not a reality star that became an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur that turned myself into a reality star to become a bigger entrepreneur. You see? So I put my ass on TV for a reason. It was marketing, it was branding. I knew the power of it.
Dude.
But man, I started, I got out of high school and I was selling kitchen knives and I was delivering pizza for Papa John's. And this was back in 2002. And when I was 19 years old, I was actually making good money, man. I was selling kitchen knives. I was like one of the top knife salespeople in the country. And then it was like so long ago, there's no technology. And I lost my sales book.
Oh, geez.
Inside my sales book, I had every lead, every referral, every contact. So I learned a very valuable lesson at 19 because I put myself out of business. And this was a really good lead book I built. So I find myself at a Washington Mutual ATM machine in Cerritos, California. I'm staring at this thing thinking, man, what am I going to do? Because it was rough times. I had no money and I was lost. I looked up to the right and I see this crooked sign and it says Wise Old Owl Real Estate School. I was like, shit, man. Well, I mean, if I could sell knives, I'd probably sell houses. Let's go check out the owl place. So I went over there. I signed up with the last dollars I had to take the class. I sat in this awful room and I had to watch all these videos from the 80s for Century 21 with the gold jackets and the shoulder pads. So here it is. So man, young, hungry, motivated, thrilled, excited, like so many real estate people out there, like ready to conquer the world. For 6 months, man, I was holding open houses. I was sitting by the phone waiting for someone to call the newspaper, and nothing happened. Nothing happened. And I go home to my parents. I was 20 now. I'm like, I didn't go home. I was living on my own at that time.
Sure.
And I was like, man, I don't know what to do here. And the whole time my mom's pushing me, go back to school, go back to school, go back to school. And my dad's pushing me, you can do it, you can do it. So I'm like, which way do I go? So man, 6 months in, I was ready to quit, really, really ready to quit. And I remember I was in a Coldwell Banker office in Fullerton, California, and there's these two older ladies next to me. I was 20 now. And they were talking about how stupid real estate agents were for signing up for coaching. and check this out. I was 20. So I'm like, wait a minute, coaching? I just played baseball. I played football. I wrestled. I played ice hockey. I'm like, you're telling me you can get a coach for business? So for me, I was like, that sounds perfect. So I was so young and dumb and naive, I believed in it,
Sure.
Right? I believed. So I was like, I got to go check out this thing. So I go to Sequoia Athletic Club, Buena Park, California. Mike Ferry speaking. We all know Mike Ferry.
Yeah, for sure.
And Mike Ferry convinces me I'm the best looking guy alive, the smartest looking guy alive, or smartest guy alive, the most talented guy alive. And I remember, man, this guy changed me. He touched me. I wrote a little note on a piece of paper at the end of the seminar. I handed it to him. I said, you don't know who I am today, but one day you will.
Yeah.
And by the way, he knows who I am.
Nice.
So I signed up for coaching, and here's what happened. I did exactly what my coach said, but 10 times more. 10 times more.
Hell yeah.
And I only went after expired listings. That's all I went after. Cold call. No marketing, no mailing, just calling.
Sure.
Became a sales machine on the phone. Here's what happened. 20 years old, 6 months, no money, totally broke. Sign up for coaching. Within 90 days, 3 months, I completely changed my life. Okay, so let me explain.
Wow.
In the first 90 days of signing up for coaching, I made $120,000 in commissions, which was $40,000 a month, right around my 21st birthday.
Jeez.
Okay, so a week before, I was living in my mom's garage. My parents got divorced. I couldn't afford the rent for my bedroom, so she rented it to someone else. So I'm rock bottom in a garage, spider webs, cockroaches, mice, dirt bike, jet ski, like a full-on garage. And 90 days later, I moved into my first $1 million house.
Damn.
I remember, man, I was 21. I moved into this super cool house. I had no furniture. I remember my mattress was on the floor. I had just got new carpet and I didn't want to put marks in the carpet. So I put pillows down, the TV on top of the pillows. I had no furniture. But the reason I bring this up is because with real estate, I mean, you can make life-changing money really, really fast.
Yep.
And that's the thing I try to tell people. You can do it. You just got to do it.
Absolutely. So
Dude.
So Tarek, real quick. So you listened to Mike Ferry, you listened to your coach, and you started calling expireds, right?
Yep.
How did that go from the get-go? Because that's my bread and butter, right? So I know that can be an ass.
How did it go? I sounded like an idiot. I fumbled my word. I called him the wrong name. I called the wrong number. Yeah. But you know what I did? I called another person. So here's how I made it through the misery of calling. I didn't care if I got listing appointments. I didn't care if I got deals. My only goal was to talk to 50 people a day.
Yes.
That's
Hell
it.
yeah.
If I talk to 50 people, I can go home and feel proud. I don't care if every single person said, Tarek, go F yourself. I made 50 contacts. That was a win. But here's what I learned. So many people think you have to manipulate the seller and trick the seller and it's impossible. That's not true. It is nothing more than taking action and getting lucky because you're working hard. I can tell you, if you make 1,000 phone calls to expired listings, you're going to say, hey, my name is Tarek. I'm sure you know your home come up off the market. When do you plan on interviewing another agent? They're going to say, we're actually interviewing agents. You just got to find the needle in the haystack. Yep. You see, where I was calling 500 to 700 people a day and knocking on hundreds of doors, other agents were calling 20 expired listings. That's like amateur hour.
You're lucky to even get one pickup.
I'm not kidding, boys. I'm not kidding here. I started work at like 7:30 a.m. and I ended at 10 p.m.
Yep.
And that's before I got into flipping. And once I started flipping, that's when I really started working.
There's something about, and dude, obviously you're just speaking our language on so many different levels, dude. I love your story, and I love it because it's so relatable.
We come from the same world, man. I grinded this thing. I didn't get lucky. Like I built this thing from the ground up just through hard work and grinding.
And the reason that I love it is I want you to speak to this because we can ask a million real estate questions, and obviously I want to do all that. But why I love talking to people like you, and the question I want to ask is what is it about extraordinary people doing extraordinary shit before they know they're extraordinary? Meaning, like, it's easy for people to look at you now and say, yeah, his life's easier because, you know, he's got a brand, he's big time, deals come to him, like, it's easy for him now. But you were acting, you were producing, like, you were a productive human being. You acted like an extraordinary person before anybody in this world ever called you extraordinary. What is it about people with that mindset, man?
Man, I wanted to prove the world wrong. So I mean, I just wanted to prove everybody I could do it because everybody said, you're crazy. You can't do it. That's impossible. What are you thinking? I'll never forget. Right after I got my real estate license, I was walking around a Rouse grocery store in Buena Park, California, not the best area. And I run into one of my friend's parents from high school. And his dad, hey, Tarek, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. I'm 20. I'm like, hey, man, I'm just getting into real estate right now. And he looks at me. By the way, he lived in an apartment at the time. He looks at me, laughs. You think you're going to make 6 figures? I said, nope. I think I'm going to make 7.
I love it, dude. I love it. And to add to that, where I want to take this, a lot of people, stuff that people don't know about you, and I kind of just learned on my own. This is permeated through every part of your personality. As apparently it turns out, you had really just gotten into the investment side of things when you started Flip or Flop. Like you just had that mindset that you were going to do bigger shit.
Yeah, this is the craziest part of the story. I pitched Flip or Flop before I ever flipped a house. So you want to hear the story?
Absolutely.
And if you just go for it, like crazy things can happen. So it's in Las Vegas many years ago. I'm at the Mike Ferry convention. I was in Vegas, got no sleep. I was hungover. I was sitting in the very back. And you guys know how the Mike Ferry, those conventions, all the ballers sit in the front, the guys that sell all the houses with the fancy suits. And I was in the back with all the people, you know? Yeah. So a friend of mine, Brad Pearson, he worked for a Prudential at the time. But 2 seats opened up in the front row because the manager and his wife left. So Brad texts me. He's like, hey, dude, I got 2 seats in the front row. He's like, you want to come up? I'm like, all right, I'll come up. You know, and that's Mike Ferry. He was like my idol.
For sure.
And, you know, I didn't get much sleep the night before. So I'm sitting in the front row and all of a sudden I start getting dizzy. I'm feeling nauseous. I start sweating. Like I was like, oh, what's going on here? And this real estate agent from Palm Springs runs across to me. His name is Brady Sandal. He's still selling. Great dude. And he's like, are you okay? And he hands me Advil and water, right? And this is the retreat. So there's thousands of people. Sure. I think I was on the big screen, right? So, and here's the funny part. The night before, Mike Ferry told me and my ex-wife to go eat a dinner you can't afford, go buy clothing you can't afford, you know, go enjoy a night you can't afford. So the night before, I bought a Zegna suit. We went shopping. All this money. Felt like a baller. One of the best nights of my life. So all of you, I urge you to go one night and just blow your budget and live a life that you're not at yet, so you know what it's going to be like. So anyways, I lived this life. I bought clothing I couldn't afford. So the next day I'm in the front row. I'm in a Zegna suit. No more JCPenney. and then the break comes around. And, you know, then all the guys from the front row, Brady Sandel, Eric Allegado, a lot of the big players come up to us. They start asking who we are, what we do. You know, I was so excited. For me, they were celebrities. They were rock stars, man. They were like, you know, I was the real estate agent trying to make it. And Brady told me he had a local TV show in Palm Springs, California. So I was like, so do you make money? He's like, yeah, people recognize me. I go to the grocery store and I get deals. And I was like, shit, man, I need to get on TV. So I was like, what, man, I got to figure this out. So the next day we come home from Vegas and it's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm a couple Miller Lights in and I'm sitting on the couch and it hits me, man. I was telling Christina, it's like 10 o'clock at night. And she'll even tell you this story. I said, man, I need to get us on TV. If we can get on TV, we can make a bunch of money. And she's like, well, how are we going to do that? And I was like, well, I don't know. And I had just bought my first flip like 4 days before.
Damn.
And I was like, man, well, what if we flip houses on TV? She looks at me. She goes, you're crazy. Are you coming to bed? I'll never forget. 1 foot up the stairs looking at me. I said, no, I'm going to get us a TV show. So So I Google like Hollywood production companies, man. I don't even know where Hollywood is. Then I'm from Orange County. I'm like Hollywood, and I just started like Googling shit, and I was like, casting. Okay, we were young. I was like sending pictures and a bio and why they should work with us. And then next morning I woke up and a company called Pytown Productions responded like, hey, we like your stuff. Send us a home video. So I didn't have any money for a camera. So I borrowed a camera from my buddy, Brad Pearson, who's now, I think, VP of Coldwell Banker. The one thing he told me is like, you better not break my camera. Brad, I owe you a camera, buddy. I'm sorry.
Oh, shit.
But so Brad, who's the real estate, manager, he ends up putting together a little sizzle reel. We send it to the production company. They come back. We do a 2-day professional shoot. And we send it to the network. They love it. We get signed for a pilot, but it took 10 months.
Wow.
And I actually quit on the idea of TV because it took so long. And I got a random call. I was on Black Gold Golf Course in Yorba Linda, California. Production's like, hey, man, you're not going to believe this. HGTV wants to do a pilot. I was like, yeah.
Dude.
So I'm like, all right, let's do this. So I'm brand new. So I shoot the pilot. And then they're like, the odds of you getting picked up is like 1 in a million. You're not going to get an answer for a year. Yeah. And negative. And honestly, I don't pay attention to any of that shit. I'm just working, grinding, right? Forget the noise.
Damn.
And just shit happens, man. And then we shoot the pilot. A week later, I get a contract from HGTV to do 13 episodes of a house flipping show.
Jeez.
All right. Do you guys want to know the biggest problem?
Let's hear it.
Okay.
Well, I didn't know how to flip houses. I didn't have money. I didn't know about construction. I didn't know anything. Like all I knew was how to sell houses. Like that's it.
Yeah.
So I was looking at this contract, 13 houses in 10 months. I'd only done 3 at this point my entire life.
Yeah.
I look at Christina. She's like, man, they're going to sue us. And I look around our apartment. I'm like, sue us for what? Like, what are they going to take? The upside down credit cards? Like they can have them. So I signed the contract, man. I was like, let's go big or go home, man. I'm like, let's go for it. So I signed this contract and then I'm like, oh shit. Well, now I gotta come through. So then I just start going after money from everybody. And literally, guys, I signed a contract to do a show. I don't have money and I don't have houses. So I was so stressed and I knew I could buy houses at the auction. So I found some guys with money. And then what happened was I couldn't buy properties that were occupied with tenants because of the show. I didn't have 3, 4, 5 months to evict them.
Yeah.
So I had to buy vacant houses. And the only way you know if a house is vacant is by driving by the stupid house.
Yeah.
So I would work like all day at the office, get home at 9 o'clock at night, eat dinner, and almost every night at 10 p.m. to 4 a.m., I would drive all of Southern California, driving by all the houses that were going to the auction the next day. And the reason I drove by every single house was to see if anyone lived there. I'd look for overgrown lawn. I'd look for cars in the driveway. I'd look for mail. So think about it. I'm working like 20-hour days overnight by myself in the ghetto. I mean, I got chased by cars. Like I have some good stories, man. And where was I? Oh yeah, the auctions. Yeah. And so I would work so hard, drive overnight, and I'd go to the auction the next day. And every house I would bid on, I would lose by like $100,000. So here's what I figured out, just like expired listings. If you work really, 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 really hard, you're just going to get lucky. So what happened was I picked up a deal. And then I learned it's a matter of luck. If you are taking 1,000% psychotic action every single day, things are going to hit whether you want them to or not. I'll never forget the second house I bought at auction. It was the last property of the way, Anaheim Hills. There's a guy named Greg Metcalf. He probably buys 1,000 homes a year from the auctions I used to go to. The last deal of the day, it's just me, him, and another guy. And I'm a kid. I look over at him, and he looks at me, and he kind of gives me a smirk, and he says, I can't buy them all. He walks up. He didn't bid on the house, and I got it for $430.
Dang. Dude.
So anyways, that's how, and then here's what happened. Like I worked so crazy that I learned how to flip houses super fast. First year, 13, second year, 18, 30 or 46, 88. And then we just grew from there.
Yep.
Man. So at the end of the day, Tark, it was, just like an expireds, it's a numbers game, right? So I think I've heard in other interviews you've done, it's a contact sport. So just like that one. But
people don't get it, man. The key to success is math. It's a mathematical equation. Like that's all it is. enough leads, you make enough calls, you get a lot of leads. You get a lot of leads, you get a lot of appointments, you get a lot of appointments, you get a lot of deals, you get a lot of deals, you get a lot of money.
Yep. I mean, well, you said two things right there. I mean, just looking at, we read the comments as we do the live stream too, and I kind of just want to talk about, like, right now we got a whole bunch of people saying, I need to try expireds, I need to do that. And here's what I want to say to them is that's not really what that story was about. If you listen to that story, and it's a lot like a lot of other people's stories, it is, real estate is a contact sport, and real estate is a failures game. And what I mean by that is you have got to start getting, whether it expires, FISBOs, your sphere, whatever it is, get comfortable failing 99% of the time. Meaning, like, if you're converting with the amount of lead generation you need to be doing in real estate to really hit your goals and cast your vision, if you're not failing 99% of the time along the way with those leads, meaning you're not hitting your vision by converting 1% of what you do and working maniacally to get there, you're not going to make it in this business. And just at some point along the way, you're going to get burned out. You've had that ideology from the beginning that you just said it right now. I'm going to shake off the negativity. I can tell you still have that mindset to this day. You just don't let the white noise affect you. And you understand that this is going to be a low conversion rate game, and you're just going to have reps, a lot of volume, a lot of numbers, big numbers, and a lot of opportunities. And a lot of people get lost along the way because they want to convert every deal. They want to convert every opportunity, and they lose that just hard effort, that maniacal effort every day to just grind it out, and then things become easier over time. But I mean, you still have that mindset to this day, it sounds like.
Man, I'm just getting started, boy. You haven't seen nothing yet. I promise you that. I'm serious. I'm just getting started. I'm working on some companies right now that are going to propel me to the moon and take everyone with me, man. You know, people have been watching me invest on TVs for so many years. I just started 2 new fund, TEM investments. We're going to be raising capital, and people can partner with us. Ooh. So if anyone out there ever thought about investing in real estate and you guys want to do it with Tarek, you can check out investwithtarek.com. And man, I'm just so excited about everything.
Investwithtarek.com. We're going to drop that in the comments right now. But here's the thing. This is what you're just proving right here, is that you now have the opportunity to grow and succeed through others, right? Like, you have created a 20-year-old kid who kind of stumbled his way into some owl real estate shop or whatever the fuck it was, right? Has now created a way to provide value to other people through just nothing but sheer will and hard work, right? Like, yep. If you're listening to this story right now, I understand that what we're talking about is a maniacal effort to your vision, or to your goals and your vision, that will get easier over time as you become more leveraged, as you become, guys, like, it's just, you know what I mean?
I'm sorry, but let me say this. You know what the most difficult part of my journey was?
Yeah.
Not quitting. Sure. So you have to understand, I was miserable in the process. It's defeating. It's stressful. It's depressing. You feel like a failure, like sleepless nights, but eventually you move an inch, another inch, another inch, and all of a sudden those inches become into feet, and those feet become into miles.
Yep.
Well, and what I think one of the things you said too was, when you were talking about taking psychotic action, it's something that we talk about new agents with, that they expect the results from today's activities to lead to appointments today. And what it really is, and what you're explaining, is it's consistent action over time, makes deals pop up from somebody you talked to months ago that makes sense now, and doing that every day keeps you in the constant flow of options.
Yeah. And for me, for all you real estate agents out there, there's a zillion ways to make money in real estate. My suggestion is pick 2 or 3,
yes, sir,
and master them, and then add another one.
Yep. And don't try to outsmart your way out of the hard shit, right? You're going to have to go through a certain amount of hard stuff in this business, no matter what. Try to do it all as fast as you can. Work maniacally and get through it all.
Well, Tarek, just like, so, you hear the one-hit wonders in real estate, just like you see kind of the one-hit wonders in reality TV. How are you staying relevant that you can continue to grow into this brand and continue pushing your progress forward, right? Because a lot of real estate agents struggle with that. They struggle.
Man, I wake up every single day like it's my first day.
Yeah.
I wake up every single day like it's my first day. That's the key, man. You just got to push and push and push. Chase your dreams, believe in yourself, believe anything is possible, and just go for it.
I love that, man. And to speak to that, I think that so much of what we struggle with in real estate or any entrepreneurial field in general is just that mindset, right? Like, the logistical part of it is there. How do you find deals? How do you, all that's...
The mindset's the most difficult part. I mean, Like, this is number one. If you can get this, you can get anything.
So what's that look like? I mean,
you just gotta believe.
Yeah.
Like the people don't believe. Like, oh, that's not possible. I'm like, no, but it is possible. I do it. I've done it. Like, it drives me crazy. It just drives me crazy. Anything's possible.
So here's the deal, though, and I guarantee you still feel this way, right? Like, you're a human being like everybody else. You have an amazing energy that is just that's what extraordinary people have. I guarantee you, not every day is the best day of your life, though. We always still, you know what I mean? What do you do to strengthen that muscle, that mindset muscle over time that keeps you productive even when it gets real tough, even at this stage in the game?
Man, I just set massive goals, and I have big hopes and dreams, and honestly, guys, I'm on my second shot of life here. You know, I had 2 cancers back in 2013, and I was sick for years. I did on TV, and now it's like I'm healthy. I feel good. I'm getting married. My kids are thriving. I'm just ready to just work. And honestly, man, I just want to build something special before I leave this planet.
Yeah, I'm hearing gratitude, man. It sounds like you know what I mean?
Man.
You sound like a guy that starts with what he's grateful for, and the motivation comes from there, man.
Well, and the fact that you're willing to do shows like this, right? I reached out on Instagram, you know, from a show that we did with another HGTV guy, which we won't go down that path on. But let's get a little bit granular. So in the flipping business, you're probably experiencing the same thing right now that real estate agents are, low inventory markets. How are you trying to stay strong with flipping some houses right now with this tight inventory? Because you're not picking deals up. I can guarantee that.
Man, we are picking so many deals up right now. The first 7 days of the year, we picked up 8 houses. So I would say we're doing pretty good.
Yes.
So you want to know how? Since coronavirus hit, I think I've quadrupled my marketing and I've doubled my sales team.
Yeah.
So when everyone else was running out of the building, I ran into the building. And guess what? It paid off. We just had our biggest month in January, over 7 figures of net revenue.
Yeah. So you're just leaning into it's funny. I heard one of the other hosts of this show say that back last March, that he was doubling all his marketing efforts, man.
That's what I did as soon as March hit.
You got to go big or go home, and you just got to go for it. Keep your eyes open and just go for it.
So what is your prediction in the next 12 to 24 months with the way the market's going, the way, and I'm sure out in California.
Normally if we were in a normal world, I'd give you a good prediction.
Sure.
But man, for the first time, I kind of have no idea. So here's where we're at, right? We have no inventory. Rates are super low. Prices are skyrocketing. Mm-hmm. But wait a minute, we have a foreclosure moratorium. So many houses should be on the market. We have we haven't been able to evict tenants. Like if you actually take back the curtain, look at what's really going on, it's going to be interesting. Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen, man, but I do believe this year we're going to stay pretty strong with the real estate market. But, we've been going up since 2010,
Absolutely. And I heard you say, and look, for real estate agents, I heard you say that you're a marketer more than anything else. What does that look like in your world from a marketing aspect?
Well, my marketing?
Absolutely. You talked about, and in several podcasts I've heard you talk about how you're now just focused on marketing aspects. The marketing is fueling your growth forward.
Yeah. Like, nowadays I'm not out like, walking with the contractors and all that stuff. That's for TV. Today I run the company, and marketing is number one. Marketing is number one. You have to generate leads. So here's the key to success. If you have no money, you have to generate leads. You know how you generate those leads? Hard work. Yep. Number 2, you did the hard work. Now you have money. So now you have money to spend on marketing. Those leads call you.
Well, and here's you being on the investment side is very similar as far as building a team to the residential side. For those that are aspiring to start to get to that point where they're really focused on the marketing, that type of thing. You went from being a dude who had never really even flipped a house to having a TV show about flipping houses. I imagine you're all things to all people in the beginning of your business. What was that first piece of leverage that you built out to really start to stair step to where you are right now?
At the beginning, I did everything. I built this thing in a cubicle 20 hours a day, I just grinded. And I'll never forget, I hired my first employee, 6 months after I started the business, and I paid him $12 an hour to write handwritten letters and fold envelopes with me all day, And he was wearing, and then I hired another friend of mine right after that to do the same thing. Then we were a team of 3. Then I hired, they were all from high school. And then another friend. So it was me and 3 of my high school buddies in a tiny little, like 200 square foot office.
Dude,
I hope that's what a lot of real estate agents are hearing from you too, because I think we get into this a little bit thinking that it's going to be our own gig and we get to make all this stuff up. And what I've told people and what you're just pounding into people's minds is, dude, your time doesn't really mean shit up front. Like you need to go out and use all of that excess time, the extra hours at night, all those hours that would be more comfortable sleeping in bed, and get up and do something productive to move your business forward. And that's the best thing you can do.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just crazy, you know, like honestly, like I work a ton today, and Heather's like, oh my God, you work so much. I was like, honey, this is part-time. You have no idea. I work like a normal human now, like, 8 to 6, 6:30, like, like a normal person. Man, I used to work from like 7 a.m. till like 4 a.m. the next day. Like crazy. Like I'm serious. I don't know. I don't know how I made it, man. I was just so motivated, and I just wanted it so bad. I couldn't sleep.
I just love that. I love talking to you only just because that's like, we found out so many. I feel like a big time dude now because we have so many commonalities. The first thing, Nick is talking about doubling his advertising budget last March, the same way you're talking about leaning into that spin. And quite frankly, I remember the days of holding 4,000 envelopes by myself in my little studio apartment a few years ago. It's just, if you're listening and you're not willing to do those things, these are the lessons, guys. Like, this is it,
The key to success is doing shit that no one wants to do.
Yep, 100%. I wish there was a better secret. It just is what it is.
Yeah, me too.
As we start to wind this down, where is the next steps for you? Right, you're soon to be married. Where's the business for you going in the future?
All right, so I'll tell you about all the things I'm working on. So filming my 2 shows, still flipping houses, getting married to Heather this year. Super excited.
Congrats,
and
man.
We're going to continue TV shows. We're going to continue with the network, and we're just going to keep bringing valuable content to the world. But on top of that, I'm obsessed with real estate coaching, and that's what made me who I am, the real estate coaching. So for anyone out there that wants to invest in real estate, I just launched my online education program called Homeschooled. We're teaching people how to flip houses and invest with real estate. So it's called Homeschooled by Tarek El Moussa. Also, you watch me invest in real estate. Now you can partner with me. If you want to partner with me, you can check out investwithtarek.com, and that company is TEM Investments. And all the real estate agents out there, I got a team, the agency over at EXP Realty. Yeah. So those are the big things I'm working on.
Man, I mean, I love being able to come full circle, guys.
Oh, there's one more thing I forgot.
He's not done.
But wait, there's more.
Okay, well, I'm working on a book right now. I'm working on new TV shows. But on the real estate side, I'm also have another company, TEM Capital, that I'm launching. TEM Investments is all about apartment building. TEM Capital, now the general public can invest with me and partner with me on the flips. Mm-hmm. So now they can actually flip with me.
Oh, man. Dude.
So this is all coming out like this month.
So do your big donors get a little shot on the TV show?
I'm sure I can make something happen.
All right. Well, I mean, Tarek, I really appreciate you coming and joining us today, guys. If hopefully this better be valuable,
guys.
I know
that bringing that full circle, just understanding that wherever you're at in your business, if you don't think that somebody else started on the ground floor and just made something so freaking unbelievable, if that doesn't help your mindset, I don't know what will. I appreciate you sharing all that stuff with us, man, because that's the stuff.
I'm going to tell you guys this. Just hear what I say. 10 years from now, you're going to say, you remember when Tarek El Moussa was small?
Yeah, he was that small time dude. He was even doing our podcast.
You'll see. I'm not kidding. You'll see. 10 years.
So once you hit that billionaire status, you're willing to come back and do the show?
Absolutely. That's the goal. That's my life goal.
All right. You heard it here first. All right, guys, if this was valuable, please share this out. If you have not gone to our Facebook group, the only real estate group worth being a part of, please go join there. Go leave us a review on iTunes. I know this was super valuable. And Tarek, one last thing. We're looking at trying to get more guests on. So we would love if you could help, introduce us any guest, maybe your wife. I know there's a lot of people, or your soon to be wife, your bride.
Yeah, sure. We can set something up.
Absolutely.
I like how he just put you on the spot there live.
I've had a lot of people message me.
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to help.
Awesome, man. Well, we truly appreciate you coming on, and guys, if there's anything else, do you have anything else? Last words for Tarek?
Man.
No, man. Thank you so much just for bringing an authentic viewpoint on this, because I think so much of what real estate is just shiny shit, and people need to realize that there's a grind factor to it that's inevitable.
100%, man.
The grind factor is all that matters. So, guys, listen, anything's possible. Go out there, chase your dreams, make it happen, put in the work. It works.
Hell yeah, man. Congratulations on everything you've accomplished, man. Nothing but the best for you in the future, and we really appreciate you coming on, man.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody. We'll see you.
Thanks,
All right,
bro.
brother.
Spider, get us out of this joint, man.
Hey, thanks for checking out another episode. If you wouldn't mind, go and join our Facebook group, the only real estate group worth being a part of. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and give us a review on iTunes. It helps us get our content out to more awesome real estate professionals like you. And last but not least, if you are on Call of Duty, my gamer tag is Brian the Force. I'll see you there.